Hey guys, it's Let Your Light Shine. I'm here with a glass of wine. I have a playlist that I'm going to create. This would be my first video on this playlist, and it's called Rant with Wine by Let Your Light Shine. Today's topic of the day is when I lived in Orange County, more specifically Yorba Linda, California. Yes, the birthplace of Richard Nixon. Yes, we get that. The land of the gracious living, as also we get. The pressure to over-program your kids. So stay tuned. All right, so this has been a topic I've been wanting to discuss for quite a while. The only problem is I tend to go on my rants about it. And so, hey, why not rant with wine by Let Your Light Shine? That's right, get your glass of wine out. If you're younger than 21, do not do that. Get your apple cider out. So this is a topic, one of the main reasons, many main reasons we left Orange County, California. Again, more specifically, Yorba Linda, California. Not all those cities were like that. But this particular city was very much like this. And so I put on my Facebook, because I have friends who have also lived in Orange County when I was younger, who have since moved out of California. I think I was one of the last to move out of California of all my friends. So I'm on Steve's phone here, and I thought I would read my Facebook because I use my phone to record, so I can't really do that with my phone. Anywho, here is my post. It says, friends who don't live in SoCal or have moved, like me, have you noticed the pressure to overprogram your kids out there? It's so different here in Nevada. My kids can be kids without the pressure of having to be in sports, etc. Your thoughts are appreciated. I want to do a poll. Okay. Now, to me, I don't know. I was wondering if I'd get any feedback, and so I did. So the first person said, now she lives near Yorba Linda, and so she knows that area. And she said, well, I feel the pressure. I just ask them if they want to do that, and if they don't, then I'm totally cool with that. Good to know that other states are more chill. So, oh, she said something more. That's funny. Okay. And then I wrote to her on that particular post saying, I'm just asking because I had family in town from Orange County who still have that kind of mindset. And they were asking my kids, like, what are you guys into out here? And my kids aren't into anything at the moment. Okay. They're just going to school and we're just doing our thing right now. And the response was, well, you have to be in something. And I'm thinking, you don't have to be in anything. I just don't have that mindset to force my kids into something they don't want to be into. So it really isn't a status thing for me. Okay, so her response is, and this is new because I did not read this, so let's see what it has to say here. She wrote, every single school meeting ever, I was asked what sport or musical instrument they played. Neither are interested, and yes, I did force them to try, so I feel confident that not forcing them to do more is overall for them better. And then she wrote as a second note, not to mention Brea parents. So now Brea is in Orange County. It's not that far from Yorba Linda. Apparently that's a bougie town too. And I really never thought Brea was, but I've heard other people talk about Brea being bougie. So apparently Yorba Linda is big time bougie. I don't know why I live there, to be honest with you. I did not belong there. But she says, always asking what sport my kids play. So there you go. Okay. Someone else wrote, they lived in Orange County, but about a year and a half ago, they moved to Pennsylvania. So they are clear across the states, okay? So she wrote, as a non-parent adult, I always thought the people who farmed their kids out at stuff that kept them on school grounds or otherwise away from home just didn't like to be around their kids. As a youth, I figured it was the overworked parents of kids who the parents didn't trust to be latchkey because they destroy stuff if left home alone, which I can understand. There's certain things that you're like, hey, I don't want my kid to be into trouble. Keeps them busy, keeps them out of trouble. There's a positive to that too. And I said that. I said, good points. I will say keeping them busy keeps them out of trouble. But I always noticed the parents in my previous town, Yorba Linda, always had kids who are first place. And I found out that they find ways to get their kids into first place, which really kind of didn't sit well with me. It's either they put them in older or they put them in a lower category. And this is just pretty much a lot of the sports. And I found out from other people that that's what they do, so their kid always makes first place. I don't know how that helps the said kid. I guess they're always used to be in first place, but what does that do for you when you're out there in the real world? I have no idea. Okay, and then someone else just wrote on hers, which I did not read, so we'll see what she just read, because I have not read her thing. This lady lives, I think she lives near Yorba Linda. I don't think she lives in Yorba Linda, but she's right in the same border, like right next to it. And she wrote to the said person, "That's funny. I've never been one to force my kids to do anything, and if they wanted to do something, could only be one thing at a time. It takes more work for me when they do have activities because they can't drive themselves to and from. I always end up bringing their YouTuber, Tam Uber, aka taxi." Okay. And then she wrote to me, "I always felt parents overscheduled their kids. Just my opinion though, I still find the answer above funny, especially about tearing stuff up." Okay, so that's kind of funny. And then the other lady put a smiley face. So I know this lady personally, and these are all people I know as friends in the area I was from. So of course they're not going to be the bougie people that I'm talking about. So I felt safe about asking these questions. Now here's somebody that I just newly became friends with because we had something in common in a group. And so we became friends on that. So here's what she wrote. She wrote, "The parents are the worst. Coached Pee-wee soccer and they were all about running up the score and getting more playing time. The girls were content just to hang out with their friends and kicking the ball, but the parents make it high pressure. So yeah, it kind of sucks here." And oh yeah, and so I wrote to her about this one time I took my kids to this playground and just to play. I mean, they just went down, they were like 4 and 2, like young, and just to go play, go on the swings, go on the slide, whatever. And there was a soccer game going on. So there was a parent whose kid was playing soccer, but his youngest one was too young to be in soccer yet. So instead of letting his youngest one play on the playground, he had this kid running up and down the slide, doing all sorts of weird exercises. And I have no idea why. Like, I just felt bad for this poor kid. It's like, sorry, you can't have fun. You gotta have something to, for me to brag about later in life. This is just my experience, people. If you've had the same, please comment down below. Another friend used to live in Anaheim. She has since moved across the country. She said, "Yes, my cousin just moved from San Juan Capistrano to Montana for that exact reason." Now San Juan Capistrano, it is the southern part of the Orange County area, and I know all those areas are very bougie, and I didn't know San Juan is like that, but wouldn't surprise me because it is some nice living over there. And then she wrote, "Living outside of SoCal makes life so much easier, more time, money, and less stress overall." And I 100% agree. And then another friend of mine who also moved from Anaheim all the way clear to the back east, like Pennsylvania area, wrote about parents in Pennsylvania. It says, "The parents here don't seem to stress about it, and the kids don't mind losing games. It's very different." So there you have it. It's just a different living status now that we moved to Nevada. I honestly have not felt that pressure that, oh my gosh, my kids aren't in like everything under the sun and they don't get any breathing room or any time for themselves. It's them and everyone else. Everyone's just out being kids, playing kid games and doing stuff. So I don't know. It's always bothered me. But I was outnumbered by people with overscheduling the kids, and I felt like the biggest loser because I wasn't doing it. But wasn't going to do it. Yeah, it was different living out there in Yorba Linda, not living up to that standard. I remember one time I was trying to find a support group, and my friend had told me about her friend who had one, and she told her friend about me. I was not welcome to said support group because I lived in a condo. See, where I lived, we kind of lived in this tiny little area of condos, and amongst us was big houses and mansions. Or McMansions. I don't know. I don't care. There was a lot of money around us. And so, yeah, it's like I lived on the wrong side of the tracks, I guess. I mean, she didn't even know who I was, but She didn't want the likes of me going into her house because, God forbid, I might ask what they did for a living. Again, I never even met this lady. It was just because I lived in a condo. It was so amazingly, like, stupid. I can't tell you how much I appreciate living out here. So much different. People are not like that out here. It's just amazing. So I want to know my rant with wine by Let Your Light Shine. Your thoughts on this kind of playlist where I might have things that I want to discuss that have always kind of got to me, but I never got a chance to talk about it. I always was outnumbered by certain stats of people that you really couldn't talk about it because you had no one else to bond with. And, you know, what can you do? But now I've got a platform that I could talk about said things. And I want to hear your comments on if you experience this same thing. Maybe there's other towns out there in other states. There probably is, to be honest with you. Seems like the bougier, the worse it is. So, no thank you on the old bougie. I'm going to pass on the bougie. So, thank you guys. I want to make sure I grabbed everything on this. Yeah, I did. I covered everything on my little list here. Thank you guys for watching, and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until then, bye!